With the Sim Update 11 and the 40th anniversary edition from Microsoft Flight Simulator, we have seen a massive improvement and the introduction to a truly supported helicopter flight model. And today we are going to be checking that out in this video using the Gimbal Cabri G2. If you are interested in acquiring any of my Overkills tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator, please consider joining me on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides, as well as any future updates and future guides that will be coming down the road. Link to Patreon can be found in the description below. Okay, so right out of the gate, again, guys, this entire time that we've had helicopters, for those of you who are unaware, we have been battling the fact that helicopters aren't actually natively supported inside the simulator. Today, that has all changed with Sim Update 11. We have received actual full fidelity support of the helicopters, everything from auto rotation, vertical ring state, and just the overall ground effect and lift factors and flight model characteristics for the helicopters. Now, the reason why we're using the Gimbal Cabri G2 is because it was specifically designed around Microsoft Flight Simulator and in conjunction with Gimbal themselves, meaning that the developers had access to the real world helicopter. Everything from sounds to performance to functionality of the helicopter were designed around the real thing. So that's what we're testing. I have not heard that to be the case for the Bell 407, so I wanted to go with the Cabri. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to be checking out the in-game control scheme for the helicopter, as it now has official support. You guys know that I don't normally use the in-game control scheme. I'm not a big fan of it, but for the sake of this particular video, we're going to walk through setting up all of the controls inside of Microsoft Flight Simulator. I will not be using SPAD.next for this particular flight, and then we will take the aircraft for a flight and see what we get. So let's go ahead and get started with that. We're going to go straight to our controls menu. And this is the first time that I'm seeing this, guys, or using this particular functionality. So this is going to be new to everybody. So we're going to start with our virpil throttle here. And I'm going to open up the preset manager here, and I'm going to create one for helicopters. Come on. I know there's a way to do it. Come on, work them. Oh, sorry about that. I had a cough sneak up on me. That one hurt. All right, let's just delete all this. I hate that you can't. You know what? I wonder if the control all works. I didn't even try that. Oh, it does. I should have just done that. All right, so let's just call this Helo. And let's go from here. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is obviously we want to go to new, and let's start taking a look at some of the stuff. Now, we do have some developer mode options, which is awesome. Toggle sim pause. That's really actually very handy. I might bind that at some point. Rename, redo, range selection. This is actually pretty awesome stuff here. So make sure you guys take a look through some of these. Some of these probably aren't going to make a whole lot of sense if you're not a developer, but some of it may still be useful. Let's go to flight control systems, and let's start there. Primary flight controls. Toggle water rudder, tail rotor axis. All right, so let's begin there. Oh, nope, I'm on the wrong tool. I can't do that yet. We're on the throttle. So let's see here. Throttle, rudder axis, elevator increment, tail rotor. Nope. Decrease vertical rotor, decrement tail rotor. I'm looking for what we're looking for here. I'm looking for collective. Oh, what did I do? Why did that happen? I didn't want that. Tail rotor axis, cyclic. They have the cyclic there. Where is our collective? Cyclic up, center down, aileron. I can't imagine that's under there. This is all trim axis. Let's check power management. That actually makes more sense. Let's go for increment collective axis. There it is. Okay. So let's begin with that. Let me separate my throttles here. And we're going to start scanning. There we go. Validate. Okay. Keeps those together. Okay, why does the developer mode keep opening? That's obnoxious. Stop it. And then the next thing we need is the throttle. So let's come down to throttle. Just want to make sure that it doesn't have set helicopter throttle axis. There we go. We're just going to use this one here. Okay, validate. That should take care of that. Now let's move over to, I'm going to do apply and save. Let's go over to the VPC stick. By the way, if you guys have not had a chance to check out virpil controls, I highly recommend it, guys. I've got a bunch of reviews on them. They are absolutely amazing. Oh, come on. There we go. Just looks like we've got a little bit of lag. Primary control surfaces. Now, did that actually take? It did. All right. Fair enough. Now, interesting. Oh, you know what? I need to open a preset manager. That's why. And this time we'll just do this and this. There we go. It's got the cyclic, but nothing for cyclic axis. So I'm assuming I'm going to hit apply and save. Let's just go back into this for a second. Let me double check. No, I have no response in the cyclic, so there's something different about that controls. I can't believe we have to bind an axis for that, but let's find out, I guess. Or a button. So let's see what happens here. Let's go back into this. Flight control surfaces, primary flight control surfaces. Oh, there we go. Longitudinal and lateral. There we go. Okay. Now I got you. So lateral axis is going to be your left and right. There we go. And longitudinal axis is going to be your forward and aft. All right, validate. And the last thing that we need to set is our rudders. Now, I'm sure there's plenty more controls that we could bind later on. I'm trying to keep this very simple for today's video. Tail rotor axis, that's what we're looking for. Start scanning. Oh, I didn't create one for the helo. Damn it. Again, I don't ever use this, so forgive me. And we'll call this helo 2. There we go. And let's try that again. Tail rotor axis. There we go. Validate. Apply and save. And let's see what we got. We should have full functionality now. All right, there's the axis. Throttle moved, but now won't move back. Oh, it's moving. Very rapidly. That's weird. Looks like a little buggy there. The collective is working. I'm actually going to reverse that axis, though. It's a little backwards for me. I've gotten so used to it that until I get my collective control, which is something that I am waiting on desperately, I like to keep it operating like a standard throttle. So collective axis, I'm actually going to reverse that. And let's hit apply and save. There we go. That's what I like. Okay, so now let's go for a flight and see if I can wreck the helicopter. All right. Get my camera squared away here. There we go. And we're just going to do the auto start because we're interested in how it flies and how it sounds today. Animation looks great. The sound is phenomenal. Get the camera to do some position here. Very nice. I am thoroughly impressed by this. Whoa! Keybinds, come on. It'd be difficult. Barely touching the keyboard, and it's got to be like all or nothing. All right. I love the textures. I love the sounds. The startup animation, I think, was beautiful. Now, keep in mind, guys, I'm not a real helicopter pilot, so all I'm going by is what it was to what it is now. So let's see what happens. Let's start adding some collective. Just looking for that initial hover. I'm not adding any cyclic or anti-torque. We're just going to start lifting and see what happens. All right, so it's already pitching forward. It's already leaning forward. That's a good sign. So now let's try to compensate for that. Let's see if we can get into a nice little 10-foot, 5-foot hover. Wow. So that was very easy to do. Not bad at all. It feels a little on the easy side to do this. At the same token, the control input is exactly as you'd expect from a real helicopter. Very, very light, very, very gentle. Let's come forward a little bit and see what it's like to taxi with it. So I feel like it's still got a bit more work to do, but it is definitely very, very nicely done still. Definitely an enjoyable experience so far. I mean, you guys can always tell when I go quiet, that means I'm having to focus, so. But the actions of the actual aircraft seem to be a bit clunky. But nothing too crazy. Like, it's not, like I said, it's not ridiculous. And I'm definitely going to need to bind the trim keys because we're having to hold this pretty hardcore forward. So with that in mind, it's going to get a little crazy here for a second because we got to add that. So that's kind of cool. This is the first time that I've ever needed to manage the trim in any of the helicopters for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I've never had to. Every single helicopter that I've ever flown in this simulator, I have found that basically once you get the aircraft at the pitch angle that you want, you can more or less just relax your hand and off she goes. That is not the case today. So let's, because I was really having to push very far forward on that and it was getting uncomfortable very rapidly. So let's do this here. There we go. That's going to be for an axis. Maybe it's not. There we go. Let's see here. This is very different from what I'm used to. So we're not going to be using like the aileron trim left. It's increased lateral trim. Huh. A rotor trim reset. We're definitely going to need that. So I'm going to bind that to a button on my flight stick. So let's see here. Let's do that as my reset. Okay. And it says rudder trim, but is there an anti-torque or a tail rotor trim? And I guess what I'm going to do is we're going to try this. So this is longitudinal, increase longitudinal trim. So I'm going to set it. Nope. 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 Well, actually, here's here. That. All right. Try that again. That was sort of crazy. We just want one. Damn it. When you have an 8 position hat switch, it is a little annoying trying to get just the vertical. There we go. Okay. This is very interesting. I've never seen it like this before. And then increase rotor lateral trim. We'll set that as well while we're here. So I'm using that as a POV right. And let's go down to the decrease. Decrease longitudinal. And we're going to use that as down. Nope. Damn it. Come on. No! You jerk. I just want the down one. Hi. Gosh, I could make a whole video of just watching me hit the wrong damn direction. Man, it just keeps wanting to go that way. All right, I'm going to try it one more time, then I'll stop the damn recording at this point. There! I guess those were the magic words. Like, I will threaten you. And then decrease lateral trim position. See, left and right is easy. Okay, and then we got our rotor trim reset. So I guess that will recenter everything back to 0. All right, let's see what happens. Here we go. We get control of our helicopter very quickly. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so the decrease will bring the nose down. I see. Still having to add a bit of forward cyclic. And by the way, we are at the TNCM, the new Princess Juliana Airport that was added with Sim Update 11. Looks like they've even added a few beachgoers there. The flight model seems to be very, very good. The clunkiness that I was feeling before, I don't know if that was just me overthinking it. It may still be there a little bit, but like once you get up and moving, this is very nice. Very smooth, very gentle experience. I have heard this particular helicopter. I did a little bit of reading on it before I jumped in because I don't know crap about them. It sounds like it is a very forgiving helicopter. It is a very good training helicopter. Like I said, having that forgiving aspect of it makes it a bit easier on students to learn how to fly rotor aircraft. Fast little bugger, isn't it? This new update is superb. I've already seen some people struggling with it, and I'm so sorry, guys. If I can do anything to help, please feel free to reach out on the Discord channel. You know, if you're running into any issues, can't promise I'll have answers, but I will do my very best to aid you there. I love what they've done with Princess Juliana out here. Yeah, I'm still having to trim as we get faster and faster, guys. This is pretty cool. I think I need to reverse my longitudinal trims. Simply because I'm having to push down on the hat switch to bring the nose down, and I actually prefer to sort of follow the direction of the cyclic. But this is great. Very pleasant experience so far. I love that it's finally supported officially in the sim. The sounds of this particular aircraft I think are great. I love the rotor wash that you can hear. Now I'm not brave enough to try an auto rotation yet, but that's something that we'll be testing out later in the week. I'll at least start testing that off screen, because otherwise you guys are just going to watch me slam into the ground a whole bunch of times. So let's just keep that to ourselves for now. But a very nice flight experience. Hands completely off the controls. She obviously starts misbehaving. Let's see if I can trim it solid here. Alright, I am hands-free. My hands are completely off the stick. Flying just with the anti-torque rudder now. Now, I don't know how realistic this is. I don't know if a helicopter would let you get away with this or not. We are still flying only with the anti-torque pedals. But that's pretty slick if it does. If this is a real thing, to be able to trim it out like this and just sort of tool around and put your hands in your lap. I doubt anybody in a helicopter would ever want to do that, but you know, what the heck. Now we're back on the controls here. Let's see what getting into any kind of hover is like from a forward momentum here. I'm going to reset the trim. Whoo, there's that reset. That reset definitely works. I do think the hover-ish, and I know I'm not quite in a hover. This is not what you would call a prime example of a good hover, but you guys definitely catch the idea. This is pretty close to it. That's probably a bit on the simpler side. I mean, there it is, you know? Get a better angle here. But I mean, it's holding. I am no longer in control of the helicopter, guys. My hands are completely off the controls. So not quite sure how legit that would be. Now let me look here. Oh hey, none of our lights are on. I don't see any kind of autopilot system that should be maintaining this. So that part leads me to wonder. You know, I think that we definitely have more work to do. Because, again, my hands have been off the controls this entire time. I am literally hands-free right now. Even my feet are off of the pedals. So, unless it's like using a fly-by-wire system where it's just maintaining its last configured position, which is possible and still cool. I will say, if you are new to helicopter flight and you're interested in helicopter flight, this is definitely a good aircraft for you. This will be a fantastic aircraft. It'll definitely get you into the game. I don't know if the flight dynamics of it are accurate, but again, as not being a real-world helicopter pilot, the only thing that I've got to go by, honestly, what I really take my basis on is DCS World. And that's just because of the fidelity of their aircraft typically, right? I mean, they have the Apache, there's the UH-1 Huey, there's the Mi-24 Hind. You know, there's quite a few very good helicopters in DCS World that would give me that reason to sort of at least extrapolate some of that. But again, not being a real-world helicopter pilot, I don't know how fair of a statement that is to make. I mean, this is where it makes it hard, and that's why I try not to say words like review, but more of first impressions. It's definitely a fun helicopter, and it's definitely a helicopter that you could take around your city and have a good time. It will be a very welcome addition, for example, to like NeoFly. I think it'll be a wonderful add-on for that. Let's just see if we can get ridiculous with it. Trying to select. There we go. Putting a lot of right anti-torque pedal to get it in there. Oh, like dropping a piano. Like dropping a piano. Oh, I think Marcus wanted us over there. Let's go over there. Reset our trim here. Again, a lot of anti-torque to bring that around, and that could be legit, right? I mean, that's the whole point, is to counter the rotation of the main rotor. So. He's like, over here, you dork. A lot of anti-torque. Come on. Now, what I didn't feel any indication of ground effect. I didn't feel like there was anything that, like, so normally as you start coming down, you get in those last few feet, you should sort of feel like a pillow that you have to sort of sink through, that you have to get through, you know what I mean? I didn't really feel any of that, so I'm kind of wondering what's going on there. But let me know what you guys think. You guys take the helicopters up. I'm still very, very impressed, and I'm still very, very grateful to have actually the support in the simulator now. Like I said, my biggest thing is it's going to open up the doors to a ton of new development, a ton of updated aircraft that are already in the sim. It's really going to open up the doors to these developers who are truly amazing with this stuff and have the time to really dedicate into their rotor controls. Or rotorcraft to really make quite an impressive specimen of simulation, if you will. But as always, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. It is definitely a ton of fun flying the aircraft. I'm having a great time with Sim Update 11 and the 40th anniversary. There's still a ton of videos that are going to be coming down the line here. Get into a helicopter, set your controls, let me know what you guys think. I will be watching the comments very closely for that. And as always, stay safe and healthy. See you in the next one.